Hi friends, I have another story for you today, and this one's one of my favorites. Today we're going to read Bear Snores On by Karma Wilson, illustrated by Chapman. Together this team did 30 books. Can you believe it? And one thing I like about this book is if you open it all the way, it makes one big picture. I like that. I think that's fun. I like to talk about the parts of a book. I think it's important to know that, but I've never talked about this skinny little edge. Did you know that this has a name? That's called the book spine, and that will always have the title in it, and then up here it'll have the author and the illustrator, and then down here it'll have the publisher or like the group of books that it's in. And so when you're at the library or you're at the bookstore, you can just look at the spines and look at the titles and see if that's the book you're looking for. Now let's look at these end pages. That's going to give us another clue on what the story's about. What time of year do you think the story takes place? It looks like a winter book. It looks so cold, doesn't it? Look at all that snow. And if you look close, do you see prints in the snow? Footprints? And what do you think this big black thing is? What could that be? Let's find out. Now this book has a dedication page. It says, "To Michael, David, and Chrissy, who love to wreak havoc while Mom and Dad snore on." KW, I bet that was our author, Karma Wilson. And for Alan Baker, my mentor, JC. So that was going to be Chapman. They both dedicated it. A dedication page is when the author and the illustrator dedicate to someone that was special or important to them. And I think that's a neat thing to do. Maybe one day you can grow up to be an author or an illustrator and you can dedicate your book to someone who's important to you. Who would that be? Bear Snores On by Karma Wilson, illustrated by Chapman. That's a great title page. It gives us some more illustrations, a little clue about our story. In a cave in the woods, in his deep, dark lair, through the long, cold winter, sleeps a great brown bear. They call this a lair. Do you know what a lair is? A lair is a place where animals can sleep or rest. And this animal is a bear, and it's in a bear cave, huh? Cuddled in a heap with his eyes shut tight, he sleeps through the day, he sleeps through the night. The cold winds howl and the night sounds growl, but the bear snores on. An itty-bitty mouse, pitter-pat, tiptoe, crawls in the cave from the fluff cold snow. Mouse squeaks, "Too damp, too dank, too dark," so he lights wee twigs with a small hot spark. The coals pip-pop and the wind doesn't stop, but the bear snores on. Two glowing eyes sneak peek in the den. Mouse cries, "Who's there?" And a hare pops in. "Ho, Mouse," says Hare, "long time no see." So they pop white corn and they brew black tea. Mouse sips wee slurps. Hare burps big burps. But the bear snores on. A badger scuttles by, snuffs at the air. "I smell yummy yums. Perhaps we could share." "I brought honey nuts," Badger says with a grin. "Let's divvy them up, cozy down, and dig in." And they nibble and they munch with a chew, chomp, crunch. But the bear snores on. A gopher and a mole tunnel up through the floor. Then a wren and a raven flutter in through the door. Mole mutters, "What a night! What a storm!" twitters Wren, and everybody clutters in the great bear's den. They eat tweet and they twitter, they chat and they chitter, but the bear snores on. In a cave in the woods, a slumbering bear sleeps through the party in his very own lair. Hare stokes the fire, Mouse seasons the stew, then a small pepper fleck makes the bear Achoo! He blows and he sneezes, and the whole crowd freezes. Look at their expressions. They're frozen like statues, aren't they? What do you think's going to happen next? Now that the bear's awake. And the bear wakes up. Bear gnarls and he snarls. Bear roars and he rumbles. Bear jumps and he stomps. Bear growls and he grumbles. You've snuck in my lair and you've all had fun, but me, I was sleeping and I've had none. Oh no, Bear is sad. Look, can you see the little teardrops in his eyes? He's crying. And he whimpers and he moans and he wails and he groans. Mouse squeaks, don't fret, don't fuss. Look, see, we can pop more corn. We can brew more tea. Bear gulps, Bear gobbles, he sighs with delight, then he spins tall tales through the dark, blustery night. When the sun peeks up on a clear dawn, Bear can't sleep, but his friends sleep on. All of his friends fell asleep. The end. I love that story. It was a surprise. I thought that the bear was going to be angry, but he was just sad. He missed out on the fun. But his friends were sweet and let him participate, didn't they? Well, do you ever wonder why that bear slept all through the day and all through the night? Have you ever heard of hibernation? That's when some animals go into a deep sleep. Some of them, their heart rate slows down, their temperature goes down, and they sleep because there's not as much food, and so their body conserves the energy. Some animals sleep really, really hard, and they'll wake up for a little bit and go back to a deep, deep, deep sleep. Bears are easier to wake up, and so, but sometimes they don't eat or anything like that for like 100 days. Some scientists say that bears don't actually hibernate because they don't go into the deep, deep sleep like some animals do. And some scientists say that they're super hibernators. And so, but we do know that they have to adjust a little bit because there's not as much food for them. And so in real life, animals really do sleep through a lot through the winter. They really slow down and they don't eat as much food. So today you've learned the word lair. We talked about hibernation. We also learned about a book spine, didn't we? So I'm going to put a link down below. I'm going to have some activities that I have found on the internet. So if it's okay with your mom, y'all can print them off and maybe do an activity together. And I hope to see you at the library, and I'll see you next time.